Welcome, guys, because this is just going to be a little bit of fun here. Let's F11 this page. There, that's so much better. Then you don't have to worry about my stupid thing on the side. So, welcome everyone. So I came across this, and I actually did a video of this guy before, Inspirobot. It is, as it says, I'm an artificial intelligence dedicated to generating unlimited amounts of unique, inspirational quotes for endless enrichment of pointless human existence. The problem is, it's a robot. So, the quotes it generates sometimes don't match the pictures that are... You'll see. So anyway, I wanted to do one of these for a while because I finally figured out, I'm an amateur, I know how to do the... how to record my screen instead of just recording the camera of me doing this. So let's press the button and see what Inspirobot has come up with. What is finished after a drink is unfinished in retrospect. See what I mean? It's a robot. Some of them are going to be just weird. Some of them are outright hilarious. And some of them just make you think, like this. Stay away from narcissists. Bundle yourself up tight, children, and stay away from those narcissists. Do you know what? This isn't plugged in. Oh, it is. I was thinking my microphone here wasn't plugged in, but it is. I was playing video games earlier and I thought I unplugged it, but it did not. Understanding what makes you wasted. Makes you wasted? Oh, alright, understanding what makes you wasted. Makes you wasted. Yeah, that's just profound. This is good. Oh, destruction is what makes them executives. If you could tear apart the people around you, you might be an executive. Finding romance is not a question of who are you, but who am I? Now see, this is the other half of that I was talking about. Look at that beautiful picture it gave us. The stars. Actually you see a reflection of stars in the pool right in front of the photographer. And the lighthouse. Finding romance is not a question of who are you, but who am I? In other words, what I get from this, because that's the other thing about anything inspirational, any inspirational quote you go out and find, you are going to take something away from it that might be entirely, totally different from what anyone else takes away from it. So what I can give you is my interpretations only. So what I take from this one is finding romance is not a question of who are you, but who am I. In other words, to go out and really find romance, the thing that you're going to need to fall in love with first is yourself. Love yourself. Because then when you go out to find romance, to find your perfect soulmate, you're not looking at, is that guy cute? Is that girl cute? Is that person cute? Are they going to be fun? Are other people going to think highly of me when they see us walk in the room? Because let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that's crap. Whether they think highly of you because of what that person looks like doesn't say anything about that person, doesn't say anything about your chosen mate. It says something about the person thinking those thoughts, and that's it. To really find romance out there, you really have to know yourself. You have to know, like, I enjoy playing video games. So I better stay away from people who are like, aren't you too old to play video games? You know, my parents do it to me all the time. Aren't you too old? No. There's people out there older than me that make a living doing this. I'm just doing it in my own time, here and there. So, but you have to know, you know, like, you don't want someone who is extremely strict if you're not strict. You don't want someone who doesn't like pets, dogs, whatever, if you do. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I can't find anyone who is serious all the time and gets mad at every little thing, because I will tease and I will rant and rave and mean absolutely nothing by it, and it's just how I am. So anyway, let's move on. Let's find ourselves some more meaning. How would things be if each individual refused to buy stocks? Okay, so I think this is an example. The ukulele in the background is adorable, by the way. The shot is beautiful. Pretty positive that's ukulele. Anyway, here is an example just of a computer giving you, because last time I was fiddling with Inspirobot, I think I fiddled with it for like half an hour before I recorded myself fiddling with it. I had quite a few of them stockpiled. How would things be if each individual refused to buy stocks? This is a very computer thing to use, but let's change this a little bit just for our conversation here. How would things be if each individual refused to buy gasoline, petrol, whatever you're gonna call it, to buy fuel for your vehicles? What would it be? How would things be if each individual decided to do that? Instead, I'll take the 45 minutes and walk my happy butt to work. You know, things like that. Instead, you know, so, refusing to buy stocks is more of an infrastructure thing, but what it's saying is those things that everybody has a little bit in. Everyone has one. What if suddenly we refused to buy those anymore? What if we refused, as a whole community, said, we're just not going to buy meat anymore? You know, I don't think that'll go over. Everybody has too much of a love affair with bacon. I enjoy meat too, but I don't. I'm not the. My mum had a boyfriend. Let's just put it this way: my mum had a boyfriend who was like, "I want the meat and I want the potatoes every single night for supper," and I was the young girl, so I had to start cooking it every single night, and it drove me up the wall. I hated it. I always wanted so much more variety. I love being able to have a supper where you just sit down and you have salads. And yes, you can have salads without meat too. Or my stepmother makes a really good chili that has no meat in it. And a lot of times when I make chili, I'll do chili sin carne a lot and not worry about any of the meat. You know, so anyway, moving on, because I don't want to get stuck on one. If you're searching for something, remember to dance like a monkey. I think I got nothing on that one. That's all there is to it. Post inspirational quotes on Facebook. Replace the bravery, not the tenderness. That's very good. I'm trying to think. There is a quote, something. I can't remember it exactly, but it's something to do with it's the strong who are gentle, and it's really the weak who are rough. They're on the edges, and they're. So this reminds me of that. Replace the bravery, not the tenderness. If your bravery is wearing thin, switch it with something else. But don't forget to be tender. Don't forget to be kind. If you're going to be anything during the course of your day, be kind. I work with people. I'll just put it that way. I work with people, and you see people, and you just, if you're kind, the situation turns out 100 times better. Just kind, and that's all you have to be. Even when you're telling people no, they come up to you, they want something from you, whatever it is, and you have to tell them no, because for whatever reason your store does not allow you to do that. You have to tell them no. If you tell it to them flatly, they'll get upset. And you can tell them to them kindly. Sometimes when you tell it to them kindly, mind you, they do still get upset, but generally speaking, not as often. So let's keep going. I make special quotes just for you. Ooh. Let courageous people know that they are courageous. That's a very good point, because people who are who they are, like, so for this example, for courageous people may not know they're courageous. They may think I am just a chicken shit. I am just a chicken shit. And to see that, let courageous people know they're courageous. If you did a good job, somebody did a good job worth doing, let them know. Because on those days where they don't want to be as courageous, if your job is to clean toilets and one day you're like, this is really disgusting. If no one has ever told you, you do a really good job. People told me the bathrooms here are really nice. Whatever it is. They will not. They'll get to that point where they're like, this is really gross, I don't do this anymore. And they will stop working at their maximum. They'll stop doing a really good job. And when that happens, things have the tendency to either plateau or go downhill. But if you have told that person, thanks for helping, your bathrooms look great. Random customer today told me the bathrooms look really, really nice, or whatever happens to be the case. If you tell them that you've done a good job, then they move forward. And when you get to that day where they're kind of like, oh God, I don't want to do this today, they have that in their pocket, in their little soul pocket. They can whip that and that and go, but these people enjoy the fact that our bathrooms are clean, and I'm going to clean the bathrooms just for that. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you're courageous, and nobody tells you you're courageous, one day you may just think you're kind of a chicken, and you have been faking the world. If somebody tells you, hey man, that was really great, that was really courageous of you, you have that, and you're, as I said, in your soul pocket, to pull out on your not so courageous days and go, look at that, I am courageous. Look at that, I can actually do my job, and I'm actually really good at my job. I have people that come in the place where I work and they're like, oh gosh, I'm so glad it's you. I'm so glad it's you that's here today. Sure. But when I'm having a bad day, like today, I was sick today. I went to work because I was the opener, and there's no way, there's like a person there an hour before I come in, and the idea that they're going to possibly find someone within that hour, it's just ludicrous. So I came in, stomach all twisted, but it's those people that are like, hey, there you are, it's Rua, I was so glad you were here today. That's what pulls me through when you have bad days. The people that have supported you, cheered you on, thanked you, showed you their appreciation of you, something as big as you did great thing on this huge project, or hey, that's a nice set of earrings you've got on. It could be something small. All those things, when you have a bad day, they help pull you through. Of course life has meaning. I like that. With alternative distances come alternative longings. I think it's got the wrong word. I don't think it should be using alternative. And what is with the Komodo dragon? This is probably, I think the head's wrong for a Komodo dragon. Anyway, something to that effect. With alternative distances come alternative longings. It could just be alternative distances come alternative longings. If something is further away from you, I suppose you long for it more. Especially if it's your dream. Or something like that. Okay, so. Don't cut off all ties to a man. Do what's expected of you. It sounds like a very Asian thing to say, and I actually mean that with quite a bit of respect. Don't cut off all ties to a man. Do what's expected of you. I can think of that a few different ways. Like, as somebody who used to be your friend, you don't want to cut them off entirely if they start being an ass or something. But if they turn into an enemy and you've cut off all ties, then you have no way of knowing what they're doing. That was the only thing I thought of. One awesome insight coming up. Wow, look at that photograph. Oh, that's snow. I thought that was stars. Holy cow, that's a buried house there. Okay, they can tell you to get rich, but they can never tell you to urinate painlessly. This is definitely one of those times where the language of computers does not translate to the language of people. I'm just gonna go on. Oh my god, it's Hitler. Only if you believe in your own take on being hurt will you actually experience a life. And your own take of being hurt. I don't think it should have matched it. I think it matched it with a picture of a person, and I don't think it realized that was Hitler. Only if you believe on your own take on being hurt will you actually experience a life. I suppose that just means to just validate your own existence. Not existence, but the fact that experience. That's the word I was. Validate your own experience. You know, how like when children, like he was mean to me, and it, you know, as an adult you look back at it, and go, you know, he really wasn't being mean. He was just being an ass, because kids are. You know, he was just being a kid. But at that point in time in your life, that person was being mean. But we tend to invalidate each other's experiences by saying, no, that's what you experienced, what you think happened, did not happen, no matter how much you believe that happened. Once you believe in your own take on it, and it doesn't have to be about being hurt. It could be about seeing a double rainbow. There was no double rainbow there. It was only one. You didn't see what you thought you saw, but there was a double rainbow. You experienced it. Will you actually experience a life, because it moves you forward. It moves you forward into that position of yourself where you are fully feeling everything. They say that the action of feeling all of the nerves in our body is actually an extreme level of pain. But because we are at this extreme level of pain all the time, we don't even feel it. It's so painful. You know, you ever wake up from a dream and it was such a heavy dream? You think you were miles away. You weren't in that bed. And when you wake up, you are just solid. you hurt everywhere. Those are the times where you're like, you were actually so far away from all the feeling in your body that when you come back to it, your attention, or whatever you want to say, that when you come back to it, you actually have to readjust to the pain it takes for all those millions or billions or what have you of nerves to tell your body that yes, you're feeling. Okay, I think we get like this in life. We are told it wasn't that, that we numb ourselves to the point where we go through a day of life. We could go through a day of life and never really feel anything. And I don't mean like touch, I mean emotions. We don't feel anything. We're just sort of all the way across the board. Nothing makes us happy, nothing makes us sad. We don't get angry, we don't get upset, we don't enjoy anything. You didn't laugh, you didn't cry, you didn't get mad. But those are the things that color the world. Those are the things that make having this life worth this life. And I think that's what it's trying to say here, and I'm going to change it just because it's creepy watching Hitler over my shoulder as I talk. A taxidermist is just as much a grave robber as a zombie is a boss. Yeah, I think the guy in the picture's got it right. I'm facepalming that one. Before the moment you give up comes breakfast. Is that like a do something else first? I love the photograph, by the way. Is that like a do something else first? You feel like giving up, do one more thing. If you ever feel sad, you need more quotes. I believe that one. Without doubt, there can be no social skills. I don't think that's quite what he's wanting to say. Inspirobot understands how deep you are. Don't you think that moments are useful tomorrow? Well, isn't it just more moments tomorrow? He's got Nike socks on, I just realised. He's got Nike shoes on. Is this a Nike commercial? Is that the Golden Gate Bridge in the background? Alright, don't you think that moments are useful tomorrow? Yes, the moments that I have experienced today, they are useful tomorrow. And not just because I've learned things today. Don't eat potatoes that aren't fully cooked. That was my mistake. That's why my tummy was all twisted today. It was not a fun experience. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. It was like having a rock right underneath the edge of your rib cage. It hurt so much. So anyway, don't you think that moments are useful tomorrow? Yes. Because you do. You move forward with the things you did today. And you moved into today with the things you did yesterday. And back and back and back. And forward and forward and forward. And you're going to keep doing that. I'm trying to think. There's a quote out of anyway. Cancer. Oh, I was thinking it was meaning like the... Never mind. Is it really June 21st to July 22nd? Fabulous, fascinating and unique. Yes, they are. I know quite a few cancer. If you know how to hit her, you know how to dig her. That sounds like it's talking about, I noticed it is the same photograph again, with the Golden Gate Bridge in the background. It's even the same font type. That sounds like it's telling you, like, hit her and then bury her somewhere, so I'm just gonna skip. We have the power to make our physical bodies history. We have the power to make our physical bodies history. Yes, we have the power to destroy the human vehicle we're walking around in. Simply being blind doesn't mean that you're not getting special treatment. Oh, hey guys. Okay, hang on. Think about this one. Simply being blind doesn't mean that you're not getting special treatment. Wait, think about this. Simply being blind doesn't mean that you're not getting special treatment. Just because you're not paying attention to the way people are treating you around you doesn't mean they're actually not treating you that way. But this works both ways too. Like, I made a mistake, and actually we failed a test because of the mistake I made. So now every time we get to that again, one of my bosses is like, "You did that right? You did that right? You did that right?" It's like, "Yes, I'm aware that I'm the one who failed us. You don't need to keep pointing it out to me." But I don't know if he's doing it to everyone, if he's just doing it to me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's doing it just to me, but that also goes for, like, a lot of people get special treatment. But the thing is that if you've always gotten that special treatment, you don't know it's special. If people have always, like, if your mom has always brought you lunch, brought you everything you forgot when you go to school, first of all, why even worry about remembering it at all? Because she'll bring it to you. Secondly, you don't notice that that is special treatment because it's the way it's always been. There you go. Sensitive skin is a painkiller. That's it. As this is what I was already referring to before about all our nerves and how just the action of feeling isn't so much pain. Sensitive skin is a painkiller. If you are the most gentle soul in the home, there is no home. It's some Confucius stuff right there. I have nothing on that one. I have nothing. Only sellouts entertain leadership. Only sellouts entertain leadership. Nope. Don't have it. Scroll down to become my friend. Let's scroll down. Oh, you can! Look at that. Oh, I didn't notice it's actually got all the ones that we just had. I'll have to remember that. You could put it on a t-shirt, a poster, or a mug. A vast amount of people become dentists because it makes them happy inside. Ow. Like inside the mouth? It's a literal... that's the thing about having a robot do these for you, is that you get literal translations. And I mean literal translations of things. A vast amount of people become dentists because it makes them happy inside. I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, we love seeing people smile. Let's be dentists so that we can help other people smile. But also because it makes... Oh, excuse me. It makes them happy, like, inside their mouth, but also inside your body, because if you don't know if you have bad teeth, it can ruin the rest of your body. Sexuality can sometimes be like a girl on a tombstone. I'm not even going to attempt that one. I'm just going to skip that one. Regular exercise is exactly like a box of chocolates, just plain dumb. Did I mention I like Inspirobot? I don't know, the only thing I can take away from here is like the whole eat healthy, exercise daily, die anyway thing. Because from a robot's standpoint, that's a very good point, you know. It's like, why are you doing that? You're just gonna The end. Holy cow! I just turned and looked at this. The end is the same. Anyway, our memories end where neighborhoods begin. Nope, don't have anything there. And that's a scary, scary picture. Humility is not okay. I just don't agree. Depression is not actually a form of talent. I don't think I know anyone who said it was. Whoever. Nope, not depression. I know a lot of people that say other mental illnesses or whatever you call them, mental specialities, are forms of talent. Like, you find people out there that say if you have ADD, the whole thing about not being able to focus on what you're doing actually helps you formulate solutions better, because instead of having to go through the A to B to C to D to E to F, you're thinking about A, E, and F simultaneously, and if it's E and F that you need, you bring them right away. You think of things faster. But also you get distracted, and the obvious could be right under your nose. B could be your answer, but you're too busy thinking about E and F, and you miss it. So that it is and it's not, but depression is definitely not a form of talent. If you are happy about your femininity, I can't say that word, you are a consumer. Yep, nope, I am not. Don't have anything. How would things be if wives began to be the solution and not the problem? Ooh. I feel I have a battle. I have one. I remember I said that I did this before, and I did this on my own because I found this through a page on Facebook, on my Facebook, and I want to say it was I fucking love science, but it was quite a while back. It was when I did the first video for Inspirobot. But one of the ones I got before I did the video was, and I don't know if I'm going to quote it exactly, but it was like, what would happen if husbands decided to save the world? And I was thinking like, oh, that would be great, except that they have that stereotype for tending to take forever to do things. So, how would things be if wives began to be the solution and not the problem? What if your wife was the person you turn to instead of turn to blame? That one should just have people sitting and thinking anyway. A physical object cannot be working against you. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess it's kind of what you do with yourself, not your physical self. Motivational speakers become motivational speakers because they get to wear a tie. Okay, so yes, but I'm taking this as in the because they get to wear a tie. Motivational speakers become motivational speakers because they get to wear a tie. Because they get motivated. Motivational speakers become motivational speakers because they get motivated. One of the things they tell you about yourself, I used to work at a call center. And I was having a bad time of it, and someone told me, tomorrow when you come to work, wear your best pants, your best shirt, and put makeup on. And at first I was like, but they're not going to see it. She said, it doesn't matter. You are going to feel it. And it was true, I did. I wore a nice shirt. I wore nice pants. And I put makeup on, because I don't always wear makeup, just because I think it's kind of a strange thing to do. And I have multi-toned face. I have freckles, so it's hard to it's hard to find a good color. Anyway, but what I'm trying to say is that when you dress yourself up, you motivate yourself. You know, you say, I'm going to dress for that situation, no matter if the other person even ever sees me. I'm going to dress for that. Like, when I sit down here, I don't want to sit down when I'm in my PJs. I'm going to have pants on. I probably won't have shoes on, because I hardly ever have shoes. But I'll have my pants on, I'll have my shirt on, I'll have my undergarments on, because I don't feel right doing something like this without them. And if you're motivational speakers, how many have watched a motivational speaker? Do you really trust them if they don't wear dress clothes? I think I've met one. And that was part of what his motivational speech was about, was not worrying about what people look like. So that made sense. Otherwise, every motivational speaker I have ever seen a video of, watched in my lifetime, had come to the school, whatever, they all dress nicely. And I think that's so that you take them seriously. So maybe every once in a while we need to dress nicely so that we take ourselves seriously. So there's my... I went off on a rant on that one, but there's my branch. Oh my god, blue sand, I love it. With underserved self-sacrifices come underserved duties. Oh boy, that's one of those things that you can only find from a robot, to think that it's inspirational. But yes, when you self-sacrifice things, let's put it this way, we get lunch, okay, and by law, like, say, when I'm at work for 6 hours, I have a lunch and a break. By law, I have to take the lunch and a break. But the lunch is the only thing I actually have to punch out for. So that's the only thing I ever take. Now, once or twice it's been so busy, and in order to get all my stuff done, I have skipped my lunch. And then I go upstairs and I just write down on the piece of paper of the time clock fixes, and I write, forgot to punch, half-hour lunch. Nobody knows, but I know. And you know what, I really actually started to hate myself for that. So I will get mad. It's been busy. Last week it was really busy, and I got so mad that I almost did it again, and then I just said, you know what, pardon my language, you know what, fuck this, I deserve that fucking lunch, and I'm gonna go take it. So, when you self-sacrifice things, when you do self-sacrifice, sometimes it just gives you more duty. You know? Oh, she'll go without taking her lunch, that's fine. Then we don't ever actually have to pay attention to her needing a lunch. You see what I'm saying there now? Oh, look at the wee kitten. If you are the only one who cares about the universe, you are not truly experiencing. Ooh, the universe. If you're the only one who cares about the universe, you are not truly experiencing the universe. You are not really noticing how many other people are in the universe. If you think you're the only one who cares about the universe. That's what I'm taking from that. Especially with that cat sitting next to it. See, something you learn in psychology is that when you pair a quote with a picture, you can influence the way people are going to take your words by the picture you put next to them. So that actually did instantly influence what my thoughts were, because my thoughts actually turned to animals. And most people think animals are just out there and they're like, I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat, and I'm gonna, and now I'm tired, I'm gonna sleep. And I think there's more to them than that, and I think we just don't know it because we're too busy in our own corner going, I am human, I'm gonna be human. And I think they don't realize that even on the small scale, an ant is doing what it can for the universe. I'm gonna dive in and get really deep here. An ant is gonna do what it can do for the universe, and that is bring food back to its house, because as it's bringing food back to its house, it is actually cleaning things up. Birds do the same thing. Do you know, I was reading about crows, and it says that crows, in their habit of taking things and stashing things and then moving their stash again, they've actually moved entire forests. Because they pick up the seeds and they shake the seeds and they go, yeah, this one sounds good. And they fly off with it. And they poke it into the ground somewhere else, thinking, yeah, this stash will be safe here. I'll remember where it is. And then they forget. And then tree. And they've moved entire forests this way. Because they don't take all of the crappy seeds. They're smart enough to know, well, this one doesn't shake. It's a dud. This one shakes. It's a good seed. Let's take that one. But I think we just attribute to the fact that, well, it's just a crow. He's just, that we don't see that in the design of a crow is, we're going to be this way because that benefits the universe the most. And I think since we're the only ones who really overthink things, we're the only ones who are like, we don't know if we're actually benefiting the universe. But yeah, if you're the only one who cares about the if you think you are the only one who cares about the universe, you're not truly experiencing the universe. You're not really out there looking at the world. You're not really out there and looking at the stars and the sky and everything that comes into even just our solar system whipping around itself and our Earth twisting around on its axis. And all of the things that go on in the Earth, in our city, in our backyard. When I was younger, I used to sit in the backyard and look in the grass. You know how many ants and bugs and beetles and spiders and everything that crawl around on the ground. And you don't ever notice. No, we're out there mowing it down, and we're out there walking around, and we're playing our games, and we're not noticing all of the little life. It astonishes me that people, a bird will fly by and they'll be like, oh, a bird, like, it was a blue jay. Oh, is that kind of bird that was? You don't even know what a blue jay looks like. Because I grew up knowing all that stuff, so to me it's common, but it surprises me that people are such, and I don't mean anything bad about them either, but like people are at such a level of disconnection. It's like seeing a person you see every day and never asking them their name. When we go to work, we have name tags on. When you go to work, after a while you're like, oh, what's your name again? What was your name again? What was your name? So that you learn the other people. I'm the same way about the birds and the animals. It's a bird. And I was like, what kind of bird is that? I know that bird. And I will go look it up so that I can learn that. But it's the same kind of thing to me. It's wanting to know the world around you. and we have disconnected ourselves from the world so completely and so much that we miss that. We really do. I give you the data mug with the quote on it. Before the parents comes the legend. That's like the whole before you were born story. Alright, maybe I'll need a couple of more here. Joy hurts parents. And a cat in a tie. Okay, no, I don't know what you're talking about, Inspirobot. I'm sorry. Globalism is doing exactly what it is designed to do. I'm sorry, nope, I've got nothing. You cannot build a meeting out of space. That's really, I guess you can't really have a meet and greet, or any sort of, meeting kind of thing, if it's just open space. I love that picture in the background, by the way. I always love me some dark trees. You really can't build a meeting out of space. You have to build a meeting out of people. You have to have things, people, something, not just space. So, anyway, that's what I'm going to end it, I think. Thank you all so much for joining me. Having a silly little Inspirobot. Little bit of fun here. I think it's rather interesting to see how people use the internet, so I like these kind of videos. And I'll do a few more of them.